What's going on, y'all? So y'all probably heard the news already concerning Shannon Sharpe. Man, he's going through it right now. Somebody suing him for $50 million, and it's just crazy that it transpires literally right after he gets offered $100 million by ESPN, I think it is. It's just funny how things transpire one after the other. And now we don't know if it's true or if it's false. I know that Tony Busby, who's the lawyer behind behind Jane Doe, the accuser, I know he was after Jay-Z at a point. And that's not to, say that these celebrities are, you know, they're not at fault, but you know what I'm saying? Like at the same time, they do have a lot of money, so a lot of people will try to extort them. And Shannon Sharpe, man, NFL legend, Hall of Famer, him and his brother, dope commentator, Onk is what they call him. He's right now in the heat of fire. He's right now in the heat of fire. And I like Candace Owens. She spoke on it and she got, deep into the whole situation. So let's see what she got to say. But of course, if you haven't done it yet, man, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and also give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna, stay in these algorithms and try to give you content that you are not gonna want to miss. But let's get into this video right quick.
Kind of been in the public for the wrong reason. So in September of last year, he suffered a really rather embarrassing public moment. You guys probably remember it, where he accidentally went onto Instagram Live and broadcast himself in the middle of having some sexual relations with a woman. I kid you not. I don't know. He said he accidentally pressed the wrong button and the public was able to hear him with a woman. Here's just a couple of headlines about that. Forced to release a statement after ESPN star's Instagram shares a live sex tape. So that was not fun for him. And it really is stemming from that issue, at least that's his allegation, which the current issue arises. He's now in a very serious predicament because a young woman has come forward and she's alleging that she was raped and she was threatened by Shannon Sharpe during what she is describing as a quote unquote rocky consensual relationship. That term, a rocky consensual relationship. So her attorneys filed the lawsuit on Sunday in Nevada, and she listed herself, or attorneys listed her as Jane Doe. The lawsuit accuses Shannon Sharpe of using physical force on her and inflicting emotional distress on her. And I'll tell you what her story is, okay? Her story is that she was at the gym in Los Angeles back in 2023, pumping some iron. And lo and behold, here comes Shannon Sharpe. They met. Now, to be clear, she says she was just 20 years old, which I hate. I hate that a 56-year-old man is hitting on a 20-year-old at the gym. Again, not illegal, but yes, probably very immoral. I think we can all agree. Like going after young women who are younger than your daughters, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. Why these older dudes? I understand, you know what I'm saying? They got the money, they want to sit there and they want to get the young cheeks, whatever the case is or whatever they call it. But at the end of the day, man, you is 56, 57 years old, bro. You approaching 60 and you out here dealing with these young women, bro. I mean, what you were expecting? They're trying to come up on a bag. They know you're a millionaire. They know you make money. They know you on TV every day. You know what I'm saying? And you going in, bro. And it's kind of weird, though. See, this is the reason why if you aren't married, bro, you should be married. This is why you should be married, because at the end of the day, bro, it's going to save you so many things that comes with being single and being wealthy, bro. There's a lot of heap of trouble out there, especially for a person like Shannon Sharpe.
Would have been 54 at the time. And from there on, the two of them start a relationship, a 2-year sexual relationship followed. Now, she's alleging that the rape element didn't occur until October of last year. And then again, so she got raped in October of 2024, and then again, allegedly this year in January. So obviously, for those of you that are following our Harvey series, that's immediately for me where I pause. Because what jumps out is the persistent question that I have in these circumstances, which is what would incentivize any young woman to go back and continue relations with an alleged rapist? Just, again, common sense. Not saying I have a degree in whatever degree you have supposed to have a degree in, but I am saying that sometimes it really just comes down to street smarts and common sense. Actually, most times it does. Anyways,
She kind of right though. Like if you or if you're claiming, why do you keep going back? I mean, it's common sense, bro. That's how I know it's like she's either trying to extort him or whatever the case is. Because if it's consensual, why are you saying that? And then we seen the text messages. This is out there. She's saying, all these dirty things that she likes getting choked or whatever the case is. To me, it seems consensual. To me, it looks like a money grab. She's in it for the money. And I think using common sense, we all know she's in it for the money. So
the plaintiff is being represented by attorney Tony Busby. That name sounds familiar to you. He is involved in a lot of big named suits. He's made a name for himself. Most recently, Jay-Z came out and said this guy is a shakedown artist because he was essentially trying to loop Jay-Z in with the Diddy accusers. He's representing a litany of Diddy accusers, and he made an allegation that Jay-Z had done something to a 13-year-old. I never jumped on that. I looked into it, and it sounded to me like the case sounded fraudulent to me. I didn't buy it regarding Jay-Z. But he's been involved again in a lot of these cases. And one of the things that he has done is he's immediately released audio to the public of Shannon Sharpe threatening this young woman. So now she's 22, 23. And I'm going to allow you to take a listen. I'm going to allow you guys to be the judge and jury. And we're going to take a listen to the audio that Busby has decided to release. Take a listen.
Anything I say, you're just going to get mad at and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like...
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
So you hear that and you don't have any context and you're going, okay, well, he definitely did just threaten to choke her, that he was going to choke her and that she would have no say in the matter. And she says, I don't want to be choked, right? Case closed. Or is it closed? Now, here's what I know. I know that in a typical scenario, if we went onto a time machine and traveled back to yesteryear, we would be very accustomed to these male defendants issuing a very buttoned up statement via their lawyers, denying their fault, maintaining their innocence, but also then moving on to sort of maintain their silence in an effort to allow the courts, some statement like, we look forward to our day in court to work through the details, right? But that's not what Shannon Sharpe and his legal team has opted to do. Like I said, in the wake of Brian Friedman just dropping the messages on lawsuitinfo.com, it seems like now men are fighting fire or perceived fire with fire. And instead, he posted a statement onto his Instagram, which was drafted by his lawyers, and he included text messages from this young woman. And I'm going to show you what that statement reads. Now, I'm not going to read every text message just because it's quite graphic, but these are text messages that are coming, that I feel comfortable reading, that are coming from this young woman. It's a statement by lawyer Lanny J. Davis, and the text message reads, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're bleeping. Okay. Okay, well, that immediately suddenly makes us go, what kind of a relationship was this? You see, it always offends our senses when we hear something like that, and a man, and this is reminiscent to me.
Man, that's crazy, man. To me, it sounds like a masochist. Definitely kind of weird that a lot of these celebrities are going through what they're going through, man. But Shannon Sharpe, man, I don't know what you're doing dealing with these young women, bro. At your age, bro, you got to be married. You should have been, with a spouse and a wife, and you would have saved yourself all this headache, bro. All this headache you would have saved yourself. You know what I'm saying? And we see it in scriptures, man. Look what Genesis says. Genesis 2:18 says, then the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him. Bro, you would have been married, bro. You would have saved yourself all this headache, bro. And again, if you're going to be in the limelight, let it be for something that you stand on, character, you know what I'm saying? All these things, football, Hall of Fame. But to be on the limelight, bro, getting accused, God, man, that's tough, bro. That's tough. You see, this verse specifically establishes the concept of companionship. You know what I'm saying? As a positive and necessary part of human existence. That's why it's so important to be married, bro. Setting the stage for the institution of marriage. The importance of being married. You save yourself all this headache, bro. All of it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we also see Hebrews 13:4, which tells us, let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled. For God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous. There it is, bro. You out here dealing with these young women, and this is what you get yourself into, bro. See, this verse specifically highlights the importance of honoring marriage and maintaining its purity, bro. You would have been in purity, bro, if you had your spouse, but you out here, chasing these young women. And I seen a clip going viral too of Monique, the comedian, letting you know, Shannon, stop dealing with these young women, bro. Stop dealing with these young women. They're gonna get you in a heap of trouble. But yeah, Shannon Sharpe, man, you just gotta stick to your guns, bro. Stay away from these young women, bro. Find yourself a wife, and you're gonna save yourself a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble, man.
When I looked through the Romanian case regarding Andrew Tate, and when you get these out of context messages and you just go, this is awful and this is violent. But then you get another piece of the equation and now you have this woman saying, I want you to choke me, allegedly. These are messages are being alleged by his lawyer. I would assume the lawyer is not trying to be disbarred and he has confirmed that these are true messages. We can pull that back up. I'll continue reading the statement. And then suddenly you're going, okay, what kind of a relationship was this? Because she's describing it as consensual. And then he just names her. He's like, this woman's name is Gabriela Zuniga. This is a text message from her to Shannon Sharpe on October 7th, 2023. And then she says to him in a different text message, which is from January of this year, quote, I know you miss this big, juicy double AS. And she ends the message with $25,000 for each cheek. Very expensive cheeks.
It's a lot of money.
It's very expensive, very pricey. And then the lawyer continues in the statement. He writes, this lawsuit filed by Gabriela Zuniga, again, just unmasking her. He's like, forget the Jane Doe stuff. It was filed by this young woman and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Ms. Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Ms. Zuniga has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of Ms. Zuniga's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual sex continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek, as quoted above from her text message to Mr. Sharpe. There are other examples of texts from Ms. Zuniga. For example, This one I am not comfortable reading,
Wow.
but basically she's asking for him to put a baby to impregnate her, I guess is the most proper way that I could say that. And it just gets increasingly more graphic about how she wants to have a black baby, his black baby, to be sure. And so they're sharing this, and it, like I said, this is why you have to wait for the full context of, and it doesn't make like Shannon Sharpe an amazing person. I think he's gross. And I do not understand these sorts of relationships where people are craving violence. But you can imagine if you are with a girl, and I'm not saying this is the circumstance, we'd have to read through everything in its entirety. And she's got these like rape like violent turn ons or kinks, and you guys are into this together. And then one day you're set up and she's recording everything and removing it from its context because she knows that the average member of the public is not going to read this as anything other than just violence.
Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, man, it looks to me like it's just a hoax, man. They're trying to get there, man, and they're gonna get him, bro. He probably gonna have to pay up. I don't think he, it has anything to just consensual, but I think that boy gonna have to pay up, bro. You gonna have to pay up, big dog. Straight up.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Man, oh man. Shannon Sharpe, man. Hey, stay away from these young women, bro. Like I said, get yourself a wife. Stop messing around. See the importance, man. Y'all see the importance of having a spiritual life, bro, and having character and integrity. Not saying that he doesn't, but when it comes to these type of things, man, you gotta, man, I don't know. You gotta use wisdom. You gotta use wisdom, man. And like I said, man, you need to get married, bro. You're too old to be out here, chasing these young women, bro. Get yourself a wife. That's what you need, man. But until the next one, y'all, let's get it.